Hello Alycats and new viewers. So today is part 1 of my July 2016 favorites, and if you're new to the channel and don't know what favorites are, that's where I list everything in the entertainment industry that I'm super duper obsessed with, and I also provide links to everything down below in the description box, so if it sounds interesting to you, you can check it out and maybe you'll become super obsessed with it like I am, and then we can fangirl over things and all that amazing stuff. So first up, the book I've been obsessed with has been A Breath of Snow and Ashes by Diana Gabaldon. Ooh, shiny. This is the 6th book, I believe, or is this the 7th book? It's either the 6th or 7th book in the Outlander series, and I'm not finished with this book yet. I'm like 950 pages in, and it's 1,500 pages long, but oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite out of the series. So much stuff happens to this family, and it's brutal and shocking, and I just need to know more. I will seriously read like 200 pages of this in an hour. No joke. So good. Like I've said a bajillion times, if you haven't checked out Outlander, please do. It's amazing. It's my favorite book series of all time. Now moving on to movies, just to preface this, I am doing the 100 Day Film Challenge. If you don't know what that is, that's where every day for 100 days you watch a movie you have never seen before. And I'm putting all my reviews on my blog, which is linked down below. I'd really like it if you'd go and read those because it just makes me feel good to have people read what I write. There's going to be a lot of movies in the movie section, just letting you know. Let's get started. The first movie up is The Fundamentals of Caring. It's Netflix's newest original movie, and it stars Paul Rudd, Craig Roberts, and Selena Gomez. And it's the story of a man, played by Paul Rudd, who has to take care of a boy, and he has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. And they go on a road trip to find the world's deepest pit, and they encounter Selena Gomez's character along the way. And it's basically just a typical road trip movie where they're all finding themselves. But it's just so heartwarming and so funny, and I highly recommend it if you have Netflix. Stream it as soon as possible. The next film up, I actually really enjoyed this, but it does have mixed reviews, is The Shallows. The Shallows is basically the Blake Lively versus the Shark movie. The story revolves around Blake Lively's character, who has traveled to an island after her mom has passed away to honor her mom's life. And she goes out alone to surf, and of course this mega killer shark comes, and she gets stranded on a rock, and she has to learn how to survive and how to get off the rock. The shore is super close, but every time she tries to go to shore, the shark stops her. It's just a feel-good popcorn flick. It's one of the best shark movies I have seen besides Jaws, and I thought Blake Lively did a great job in the role. It's nothing too scary, not a masterpiece, but if you're looking for a good fun time just to kind of get your mind off of crap, The Shallows is perfect for that. Next up is Tig. Tig is the documentary of the comedian Tig Notaro. I was not familiar with Tig's work beforehand, and I can say that I'm still not a fan of her comedy, but this documentary was so fascinating because it chronicles how she lost her mother, developed this chronic stomach illness, and then also developed breast cancer all at the same time, and she had to learn how to deal with all of that while also, you know, dealing with her sexuality, trying to find her life partner, and she's trying to have children. It's just very inspirational. I was laughing, I was crying, I was cheering for Tig. I highly recommend it, even if you don't know her work or you're not a fan of her comedy per se. Her life story is very inspirational. Next up is The Master. The Master is a film by Paul Thomas Anderson. It's about a man who is a veteran. He's trying to find a job, and he keeps getting fired from all these jobs because of anger issues or sexual harassment issues. And he comes across this man on a cruise ship named Lancaster Dodd. And Lancaster Dodd has a family that's basically a cult, and they have their own set of rules, and he brings in Joaquin Phoenix's character. And it just chronicles how, is this guy really a part of the family? Or is he basically like a sleeper agent? What's happening, you know? It's so well done. It's a typical P.T. Anderson film. It's quirky. It's not going to be for everyone's tastes. But if you enjoy serious cinema with a message, definitely check out The Master. Next up is The Double, which I feel is a very highly underrated film. The Double stars Jesse Eisenberg and Mia Wasikowska. Jesse Eisenberg plays a man named Simon James. He has a typical 9-to-5 job. He has a crush on Mia Wasikowska's character. And then one day, A man that looks just like him is hired at his workplace named James Simon, and everyone goes crazy about James. Mia Wasikowska falls in love with James, and it just deals with the fact that James is everything that Simon wants to be. It deals with how Simon has to find himself and learn to accept who he is, and it's just such a good science fiction psychological thriller. It totally reminded me of Brazil meets Predestination. So if you're into mind-bending psychological thrillers with a science fiction twist, definitely check out The Double. The next movie I want to recommend is an absolutely phenomenal movie that I highly recommend you watch if you're into science fiction at all, and that is Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody stars Jared Leto as Nemo Nobody, a man who is the last living man in this world where everyone is immortal, and he's in his deathbed, and you see his life, but the thing is, you see 3 different lives, so it examines the butterfly effect and how one small choice can change our entire lives. So it shows how his life branches off from one small decision he made in his life. And it's just so fascinating. Jared Leto was phenomenal. I highly recommend this. It's heartwarming and you'll just love it. Trust me, watch it now. It's so good. The next film up, everyone's gonna kick me for not watching this before, but that is Back to the Future. I absolutely loved it. I thought everything about it was great. I thought the effects were good for the time period. I adored Michael J. Fox. He was adorable as all get out. Christopher Lloyd was hilarious as Doc Brown. I just loved everything. I loved Einstein. I thought this film was genuinely funny, which, you know, that's rare for me. And I just thought it was so charming and so well done. So, yes, I highly, highly, highly give major thumbs up to Robert Zemeckis for creating such an iconic film. Next up is Bernie. Bernie is based off a true story, and it's a very fascinating story. This stars Jack Black as Bernie Tita. Bernie was a beloved assistant funeral director in the small town of Carthage, Texas, and he became friends with this elderly woman named Marjorie Nugent. Her husband recently passed away. She was lonely, so he became her friend, and the whole town was gossiping about them. Is it romantic? Is she basically covering up for Bernie being gay? And then one day, she bosses Bernie around a little bit too much, and he kills her. And then the whole town rallies around Bernie, and they're trying to get the judge to give him a very light sentence because they say Marjorie deserved to die. Bernie didn't mean to. He's such a sweetheart. And it also chronicles how Danny Buck Davidson, who is played by Matthew McConaughey, was trying to get Bernie thrown in jail for life for murder. And it's true. This really happened. Bernie Tita is a real person. It's directed by Richard Linklater. I thought the performances were all solid. Definitely give this a watch. And the last film I loved this month was Only Yesterday. Now, Only Yesterday originally came out in Japan in 1991, but only came out over here on American shores in 2015. Only Yesterday is the story of a 27-year-old woman named Taiko, who is voiced by Daisy Ridley in the English dub. And Taiko is going on vacation to the countryside, and while she's going on vacation, she starts reminiscing about her 5th grade self, and how she had so many firsts in her life during that year. She had her first bite of pineapple. She had the first boy who had a crush on her. She had her first recollection of periods. You know, she had the first memory of her father slapping her. It also shows how her 5th grade self reflects on her 27-year-old self and how she has to grow up and how she also has to come to terms with the fact of the person that she is. And it's just such a beautiful film. It's Studio Ghibli, of course it's beautiful. Some people will not like this film because it is a very slow-burning, meandering, slice-of-life film. But if you like that kind of stuff, definitely check this out because I actually was crying by the end of the film because I related to Taiko so much. Because Taiko is a creative person and she felt ostracized because of it. And I just really connected to that. So I highly loved Only Yesterday. Phew! Movies are over with. Now moving on to a game I really enjoyed. That would be Inside. I highly recommend you play this game because it's phenomenal. Inside is made by Playdead, who made the equally amazing Limbo. And Inside is a platforming game that you just move left or right and you can jump and push objects. That's basically all you do. And you're playing as a boy who is running away from authority figures, trying to escape. And it's just so good. It's so good. There's so many gruesome death scenes, which I think are personally awesome. Yeah, it's sad the little boy dies, but the gruesome death scenes are awesome. But it's got a powerful, powerful message, and it's just such addictive, fun gameplay. It's a masterpiece. I highly recommend you play it if you have an Xbox One, and I believe it's on PC, but I could be mistaken. All the music I loved is in the description box down below, so give the songs a listen, let me know what you think, and let me know what songs you have been obsessed with lately. And lastly, some YouTube channels I've loved. First up is Circuits and Coffee. Circuits and Coffee is freaking awesome. She has an amazing lady loft. You may have seen her on Male Jesus Rocks channel, but if you haven't, you should definitely check out her channel anyway, because she does amazing tech reviews, and she does just really awesome content, and she's just such an awesome person. I think she's so badass, and I think she deserves way more subscribers than she has. So go check her out and send her lots of love. And the other channel I want to shout out is Cannot Be Tamed. Cannot Be Tamed does a lot of awesome videos. She does like her top 5, top 10 lists. She does gameplay videos. She does retrospective videos. She does like favorites videos. She's just really sweet, and she has really good quality, so definitely check out Cannot Be Tamed. So that is it for part 1 of my July 2016 favorites. Let me know what you've loved so far in the comment box down below. Like the video if you liked it. Feel free to share the video, that would actually be really helpful. And don't forget to subscribe and join the Alycat army and make me smile, because that'd be a really awesome birthday present if you subscribe, because my birthday's coming up and I really want you to subscribe, please. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, all those links are down in the description box down below with all the other plethora of links. And I'm gonna go, but I love each and every one of you so much, it's crazy. Peace and kisses. Bye.